Hello viewers, here is that odd heater. I forget what the brand was. CFM Harris Systems. I have not been able to use this because I can't get it to run. I have speculations that it has something to do with the thermostat having a very high threshold, in the sense that it doesn't turn on until it gets very, very cold. So I've removed some screws, 2 screws on either side, and oh, the camera's not charging because this isn't on. Okay, now it's on. So let's see if we can get in here. I think that should have been enough to... There we go. So this is what the internal looks like. It's a very simple design. There's the controller. Just a basic thermostat with an indicator light. So I've got my meter out here. Put this on continuity mode. And we're going to check and see if this switch, this thermostat, is giving us any continuity here. The motor seems like it's in good condition, so that's nice at least. The switch is supposedly giving us continuity now. So that means there could be something else wrong with this. It's right at the edge, but it is working. So that's kind of odd, unless something has changed since the last time I tested this. Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to plug it up here and hope for the best. And I get nothing still. So something's not quite right about this, unless the elements themselves are just spoiled. But the fan doesn't run either. No, that didn't heat up at all. Alright, now let's pull the indicator light out of here. Can I do that? Not easily. Now I'm seeing something I don't like here. This terminal is not exactly connected very well. That certainly should not be like that. So at bare minimum, that has to get repaired. I mean, it doesn't have to be, but it really should be. I know it looks like it in the picture, but it's not. It's not going to short out up against that bolt. Although, you know, if it came loose or something, I suppose it could. So let's take some other readings on the machine here. Get some readings of the elements. Put that over to ohms. And should be able to get a reading across the top and the bottom of something. And we're getting nothing. Now we're getting 9 ohms. 9 ohms. 0.2 ohms. So let's see, where's the fan leads? This is fan lead number 1, and this is fan lead number 2. That's 9 ohms. If this resistor thing is spoiled. Yeah, that's giving us 0.2 ohms. I'm not sure what that's supposed to read. Does it say down there? No, it doesn't say what that is. Where is... So this is... This should be giving us the measurement of the elements here. And it's saying open, so that's not good. It's not a good sign at all. Yeah. That's saying 9 as well. Something tells me there's something flaky about this element. That element's got 9. Let's see what this side's gonna give us here. That's also 9, so it seems like that should work. I suppose what we could do is we could so I'm a little baffled by this switch, because if this is 0.2 and it's off, 0.2 off, that would seem like it's working. So I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this. I can't get at the fan winding connections. Alright, maybe I'll try. I don't think there's anything wrong with the switch, but maybe I'll try to jumper the switch. So, because this has to get fixed anyway, so let me take those off there. I don't want to make that any worse than it already is, but yeah, that was not put together very well at all. Alright, so these are the two wires that go into the switch. So if the switch was calling for heat, actually, hold on, let's take a look at one other thing here. The high side of the cord is the non-striped side, and the non-striped side goes, wow, are we for real with that? Yeah, the non-striped side is definitely the high side, and the high side comes in and goes right to the element, and then it passes through, and the fan motor picks up electricity from, okay, so the fan's 120 volts because it's connected right there on the high input. The light comes on, and the light is its own separate thing. It has a wire right on to the mains input, and a wire right out to the mains return, or the mains common, whatever you want to call it. So the light really does not necessarily indicate that the thing is working the way it should be, other than claiming that diode to be spoiled, which may be the case because there's like some blackening on it on one lead. I'm going to take these two wires and just join them together manually to simulate the thermostat calling for heat, and see if that makes any kind of a difference. Alright, so let's see what happens with that. Potentially nothing, I don't know. Probably nothing because I think the switch is okay, but it's something to try. Oh, look at that, it's running. Did that get hot at all? Yes, it did. Okay. So, interesting. So, it looks like the switch is spoiled. Well, let's put this back together because I don't want to run it up without the case on because the air is not going over the elements with it like this. So I'm going to put this cover back on and then we'll let it run for a little bit longer to see if it's working well. It's already pretty hot, so I tend to think this is going to be a good heater. Alright, I reassembled it, so let's power this up and see what it does. Very quiet, and it actually throws out a good amount of heat too. It's not too bad for a smaller heater. Alright, I've had it going for several minutes now. It's getting quite hot. It is 67 degrees in here, and the output is reading 296, or the elements rather are 296. I don't know what the output is, but I can't keep my hand there for more than a few seconds. It's definitely pretty hot. And it's very quiet too. Very, very quiet. Well, this is definitely going to be the new studio heater. This is perfect to use while doing videos, and this gets plenty hot. This feels like it's more than just the regular 5,000 BTUs that these heaters typically are. And the spin down time is pretty good. I think I'm going to end up mounting this heater right here. I'm going to take that vacuum down because I don't really ever use that anymore. And I'll put that somewhere else. And I'll mount the heater on the wall here. This heater unfortunately has a fatality in its design, and that is that the cabinet gets extremely hot. The cabinet is 154 degrees right now, and it's only been on for maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And of course when I turn it off and the heat's not blowing out, it's going to get even hotter. So that's kind of a stupid design. I'm not really sure I don't think this was meant to just sit in a room and heat the thing up. I think this has some kind of an application. It's supposed to be mounted somewhere, something like that. And I don't know what that application would have been. Perhaps in that particular scenario it wouldn't matter that the cabinet's hot. I don't know. But it's working. It's working quite nicely. It's very, very quiet. Really, it's the perfect heater to have in the studio here.